Hi, Tom Lynch here, getting ready for one of my online workshops. And I've got a unique one that I'd like to share with you what it's all about. I wish I had thought about this much earlier, but really it works well for the online format, and I'll share with you why. It's a two-part class, 3 hours one day and then 3 hours the next day. And what's nice about this is I'm going to teach you the parts of the painting. I'll give you an example in a minute of a scene, but we're going to have a chance to just play with different ways to paint the parts of a scene that I might showcase that we're going to work from. And I even give you other suggestions of a different version where you can work on your own composition. What's nice about that, we're doing separate sheets of paper, and I'll share with you a couple different ways to do the clouds, a couple ways to do the water, trees, and so forth, so that the next day, and now that gives you almost 24 hours to practice even more. Now the next day you have built up some confidence. And that's the most important part about painting. Have that confidence to go ahead and give it a good try. So now then we'll do the final painting in stages. And as I said, you can use the example that I'm using. I'll give you other versions that you might want to do instead. And at the end I'll show you kind of a dramatic version that this could be turned into. So it's really a nice class to kind of jumpstart if you need a little boost of information and energy, share with you subject matter that you're familiar with. You might want to learn a new way, an added way, and be able to paint in a variety of ways. I think that is the sign of a great artist. So if you like color, contrast, sunlight and shadow, you might like this two-part class. And the online, how great is that? You can watch it again in rerun. You can stop, pause, fast forward, screenshot. Some of my students even simulcast on their big, large, smart TV so they can watch it and review it. And I offer my students something really super unique. Never done it in a live workshop, where I allow you to email me a question you might have a day or a couple of weeks later, or the sample that you're painting. You may not paint it as fast as I was. You may not want to show what you're doing in the class with the other students. So I let you have that opportunity for me to offer suggestions. Here's what's working great. And if I were you, I might change this or that. And sometimes I even said, don't bother with it now. Think about it the next time. So you'll have a different look to the final painting. So a great format. And the close-ups, I've got 3 different cameras, and I can do super close-ups. So perchance this was a subject we were going to work from, and I would share with you painting each of these parts. I'll share with you that in a minute, but I'll also give you an alternate version that could be done for this particular painting. And here's another version if you want to have a little more drama and excitement. So the practice part for this painting would be, first I would share with you different ways to do skies. What's nice is, again, I can zoom you in nice and close. Boy, you could sit in the first seat in the first row and you wouldn't be able to see a brush stroke quite as close as this, as I come in and just maybe suggest, oh, if we just punched up a little more contrast, a little extra dark. Let's bang up that shadow just a little louder. Let's accentuate where that shoreline is. And so I can give you that chance, or we could add a little, how about a little dry brush sparkle on the water. So that's just a super benefit for the online format, is where I can draw you in close. But on the practice day, I would give you a demonstration on how to do a cloud like that. Or if you wanted to do stratus clouds instead, I would give you a demonstration on how to do that. I will show you how to turn it into a sunset cloud in the sky. Lots of information, lots of text that you can pause and write down these notes and remember some of these things that I did in class, so you don't have to write feverishly. And some of these gems, they become nice little finished paintings unto themselves, just as a practice. And these are on loose sheets of 140-pound weight paper. So you don't have that pressure of it's got to be just right. Although I will show you as well techniques on how to finish or correct a painting. Let me share with you some more examples here. Here is the typical palm tree And I'll share with you the bougainvillea, how to do the tree trunks, how to do the fronds, some of the vegetation, you know, in there as well. Here's a great little tip I'll even share with you now. Give you a little free tip. I'm going to take a little cobalt blue, a little permanent magenta, and a little burnt sienna. So here's how you can see the palette right next to it. Now I'm going to take you in close and share with you a real unique way where I'm using the side of so that's a flat brush. I'm going to use the side of that flat brush and look at how I can capture some contour and some color variation and some of those fronds along the side. So that's the beauty of the way I like to teach, give you some variations. I'll share with you some of the tips and techniques that I do with my dot bottles. Here I'm just having clear water, add a couple of sprays, then I can zoom you in real close and say, look at how that has loosened up that edge, add a little bit more texture, a little more contour. I can come back in here with a delicate little line to show the other side of the tree. I can just drop in, you know, a little contrast color and let it float. So I'm having fun painting, and I want to bring fun into the way in which you paint as well while you're painting. Then I would normally stop, pause, let you then practice. I'm available to answer questions. If you didn't see it quite right or you weren't sure of something, I'll bring it back in. A nice thing too, if the other student has a question, you get to hear the question. Hey, in a workshop, someone comes up to my table, they ask me a question, I go, boy, if everybody could have heard the question and the answer or seen the example that I painted to show them the answer to their question. That's what's good about the online class. We'll show you how to do different trees such as that. All these different tree trunks, I'll give you many different versions that you can have as an example. When it comes to the water, I have lots of examples for you to see there as well. Whether you want to have just some of the sparkling white caps, you know, for water, we'll be painting something like that. Love sharing with you how I would suggest having that transition between dry and wet sand, between sand and the water. There's like a nice slow transition. Lots of information on painting the ocean, colors to use, examples to see, where they all worked out, how I would handle the composition and so forth. Distant islands, I'll share with you how to capture that particular look. Maybe it's a quiet, calm day on the ocean. I'll share with you how to handle that, or sparkle on water, or a nice, choppy, active ocean. And again, this was a practice painting. This wasn't meant to be a finished painting. It was just sharing with you the parts. I'll share with you some spray bottle techniques. You can use it for a sandy beach, a country road, or the ocean, at the side of the ocean as well. So I have lots of visual examples to share with you along the way, and they're just practice examples. I will bring into view many. I have 150 of these visual painting on charts, I call them, where I have all the information, whether to do clouds, different types of, again, the Florida landscape, what the picture might be like and how I might translate it. Told you I'd show you another way to do sparkle on water. So as you can see, I'm all about loading you up on information, giving you visuals. I would send to you this visual chart so that you could print it out and have it as an example for yourself. So I could go on and on with all these charts that I have, only to help the student get more information. But the beauty is, I can overload you with information because you have several weeks to watch and take note and practice again. And then I'm available for you to ask questions. I think that's a pretty good setup. I'll touch on even plein air painting, you know, for this type of subject matter at the same time. I'll share with you how to capture a loose, simple, very stylized painting where it was done quickly with a large brush and without even any sketching ahead of time. That captures a beautiful, you know, simple look to a finished painting. At the end of the class, I would also bring to you and share with you how to have an entirely different mood or theme for a coastal landscape painting. And one of my favorites here, look at the quiet, calm, delicate. So it's more about the mood in that particular painting than it is the subject matter. So as you can see, even in this little mini explanation, I've overloaded you with a lot of information, but it's okay because you can watch it again, you can take the time, you can stop, pause, rewind, and I'm there to help you even after the class ends. So if that sounds good to you, if you like some color, some contrast, someone to say, wow, instead of, gee, isn't that nice? Then I'm the teacher for you. We'll have a good time, available to answer questions. I mean to help you out. That's what it's all about. So join me when you see my two-part watercolor workshop. So we would be together on a Thursday late afternoon for 3 hours. You'd have a whole day to practice. Then on the next day, same time, we'll be there together and we'll do a finished painting in stages. And as I said, I'll show you lots of options. So there's not just one way to create a great piece of art. I sure appreciate you listening to me and letting me go on and on about all the fun things that I like to do. And I hope you join me. You won't be disappointed. I have a unique and I think special program in that two-part workshop. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in class soon. Bye for now.